Let's go. Hello, 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 and welcome to another One Lion of Code. I am One Lion, and we are at a Monday, at a fresh start of a week for those of you that start your week on Mondays. Those of us, I guess I should say, that start your work week on Mondays, or productivity week, or whatever you happen to do that Monday marks the beginning of, or the end of, depending on how you feel about Mondays, about days like today. Anyway, hi. Welcome to a coding stream, another .NET coding stream. Sorry, I was cleaning out my mouse because it was starting to get kind of gunky and it was hard to move the. I'm currently charging the tube. Hard to move the little mouse wheel around. Mouse ball, trackball, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, when last we spoke, we were working on the financial management project, which I believe is up on screen. Yay. Okay, so this is the financial management project, the one in which we have been working on. And also, this is the project that we've been working on. Don't know if I said that yet. What this project is a Blazor, .NET Blazor full stack web application where we're using Blazor mostly for the UI stuff, not necessarily for the hosting model or anything like that, although we are primarily developing it using Blazor WebAssembly as our hosting model with a hosted backend. Ooh, excuse me. And so that is what I am doing. I also don't think that my bot is services. I don't think that my bot is actually running Twitch. Let's wait, which one? What are you? I don't know what that one is. Anyway, let's. Oh, wait, it is. Thanks, Dukasoft. I don't need to restart it. All right, so anyway, Dukasoft kindly posted a link to the Discord server. We are a conglomeration of fantastic people, fantastic developers who just like to hang out. Nice service there. We just like to hang out, help each other out, answer questions, ask questions. Captain Commerce has his own channel in there. So if you don't know Captain Commerce, he's a .NET developer as well who streams usually on Mondays and Fridays, and now he's been adding Saturdays back to the mix. So definitely feel free to check him out. I think it's Bang Captain. Das him. Cool. So nice. So nice. Anyway, so on Friday we had a community day and I finished up some of the finishing touches on the logic for the application. So let's take a quick look at the app. Like I said, we are using the WebAssembly hosted API version, but we could just as easily put this inside of a Maui app, which we will do. You can see that I already have the startings for it. I'm probably going to delete that and then recreate it from scratch when we're actually ready to. Point it to the user interface that we've been working with. It'll use the same logic essentially as the API, as the WASM version. One day I'll remember all the bang commands. You will be able to see the bang commands one day. Right now, yeah. There's so much that I need to do with the bot that I've been choosing to do other things. The latest thing that I've been hooked on is generating AI images from text prompts and then trying to turn those from image to image into higher resolution images, make them into characters. Yeah, it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so very just so very. Dang it. I keep making that thing pin. I don't mean to. Okay, so here's the app. I meant for you to. But is there no actual. Huh, this is the second window. Okay, that's fun. Langarar or roar? It depends on how it feels. Not every lion is the same, and not every lion does the same thing every time. So the potential is there for both. But yeah, so the last thing that we did was we got all of our data entry forms to work the way that we're expecting them to. We got our transaction history table or grid or whatever you want to call this thing to display the transaction information, all of the historical information. We got it to update whenever we add new records. Depends if it's a thin or thick line with two C's. C's. Anyway. Depends on if he's on GitHub or not. What? What if it's a thick doll, though? CC joke ruined. Everyone got it, though. Everyone knew what you were talking about. That's what we get for being a close-knit community. Okay, but anyway, that means that core functionality. Oh yeah, and there's a shout out for Thindle. Thank you so much. Dukasoft Thindle has been streaming more often lately. I've been able to catch quite a few of his streams, mostly lurking in them. And there's so much fun watching legacy applications get upgraded, migrated, and cleaned up overall. And he has some pretty interesting approaches to the way that he does stuff, which are really cool. Really nice to watch. So thank you for that quality content, Thindle. So much cool. Interesting, good. I hope I just qualified it the whole time. Cool. If you think that cool is good, then yes. Interesting, cool, good. Wait, this way. You like going left to right. Anyway. And there's his bot. Welcome in, Thickdull bot. I hope that you are able to get some good lessons for your bot. Although our chat isn't very chatty, which is fine. Definitely not a bad thing. Ubisoft is introducing himself to Thindle's bot. So yeah, what do I want to do? I wanted to move on to our next pass of the user interface so that we can start making this look like an actual usable application. Right now, it looks like a developer who is mainly focused on writing functional code, code that does stuff, code that works, not like functional programming, but you know what I mean. It looks like they threw a whole bunch of controls on a page, gave it an add button, and yeah, this is what you get. A working application that will track or display for you all of the items that you are adding in. Took us off. Thank you so much for the sub. Why didn't we hear it? Did you guys hear it? I bet you did hear it, but my output needs to be reset. So I updated OBS because the previous version was already having issues. And I was like, it can't get any worse. So I went ahead and updated, and it seems to be working nicely. I heard everything. Also broke keyboard. Guess which keys are missing? Hmm. The E. My guess is E. It looks fun though. That'd be really hard to program with. At least it's not spacebar. The spacebar on my work laptop is really loose, and I've already taken it off, and all of the pieces are there. It doesn't have any, like broken swords, broken pieces. Yeah, you can always copy pasta because it looks like you have a C. Does it look like you have a C? I haven't seen you use a C yet either. I will never do that. Wow, there aren't very many words. Maybe I'm just blind. Okay, so there's one C in the word channel. And in Thictal. C works. But yeah, that would give me anxiety. It's like every time I need a capital B, I'd have to find one. Copy pasta. You could learn the ASCII key for it. Character map. Such as in Alt0042. That's an asterisk. What is your ASCII number? Oh, right. That's hex. What is 42 in decimal? 1632. I can't do the math. 4 times 16 is 64 plus. Why am I doing? Yeah, because plus 2 times 16, which is 32. So 672, 78. I can't do the math. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to cheat. Programmer. 42. 102. I was way off. Alt0102 is not a B. That's an F. What am I doing wrong? Well, let's subtract 26. And it's somewhere around. Oops. 86. 66. There it is. 66. Alt 66. You know Enya? That's Alt 0241 for me. I didn't know 164. I guess it is also 164. Huh. I've always used 2 for 1 and 191. Oops. 0191. 0161. Yeah, I guess if you put the 0 in front of it, Unicode. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do though. It's 0042, right? But that's not giving me what I'm expecting it to for B. Whatever. Anyway, I'm no good at this. Let's play a different game. You know, the other one that I'm not very good at, which is UI. So we're going to create a branch for our UI work. which we don't need this branch anymore. We've already checked it in, merged it, saw that on Friday. If you missed it, video should be up on YouTube's. And we are heading to some UI. What are we calling this? Because it's not cleanup, because we haven't actually created the UI for this. So UI amp. Which parts of this? Let's focus on a specific part of UI. We're going to focus on the main data entry layout. Is that what we want to do first? I kind of want to get my account history. So we'll do that first. How would you name this branch? So mine would be something like add account hist. Maybe UI dash add account hist. You would probably have in your DevOps repo, you would probably have a work item, and you would prefix this with that work item number. But since I'm using GitHub, maybe I would use an issue. I'm not using Azure DevOps for this project, which I normally do. So I don't know. Feature slash ID underscore whatever I want, or bug slash. I don't think I've ever used a slash in my branch name. But yeah, this would be a feature. And you would normally use the ID for it. So yeah, I'm no good with actual DevOps. I'm really good at creating work items for myself on DevOps repos and boards and stuff. But doing issues and having the right labels, and I'm just terrible at that. So this would be like feature, new issue. Is there anything under projects? I don't have anything under projects. Should I put something in projects? I'll follow whatever you tell me to do. But first, you were saying that was starting to remind me of the first answer on I need to match all opening tags. And the first answer is you can't parse HTML with Redux. Is it because it's really hard to read? Let's go. Why didn't I hear that? I have all of my sounds playing out for me. Hopefully you guys heard it. Hello, Amin. Happy Monday to you. Which one of you guys is sound alerts? And why can't I hear my sound alerts? parsing XML with regex leads to Cthulhu. Is that what it is? My mustache is making my nose itch. Oh my gosh, stop. Bye, Thindle. Have a good night. Wait, what? I mean, Thickdle. Bye, Thickdle. Did you get some good feedback? Some good responses? The whole thing. Good at creating work for myself as well. Is that how I worded it? That's terrible. Good night, Victor. Welcome back, Thundle. Point was all the weird characters you entered in the text box. Oh, okay, gotcha. So anyway, you were telling me to do a thing with projects. Go project in this repository. It is correct and entirely as it's supposed to. Huh? Oh, okay. Feels like the place for a task board. Okay. I still don't know how to use it. Built like a spreadsheet, project tables give you live canvas to filter, sort, and group issues and pull requests, tailor them. So it looks like we create an issue first. How do I name the issue or a feature? New feature. Yes. Do I do caps? Do I do square brackets? You just write it. So display account overview in data entry pages. Labels. Enhancement. Looks like it's an enhancement. We don't have any projects yet in my repository. Okay, so I'm going to display all of the accounts and their current balances, including pending as well. Pending and adjusted. As pending and adjusted. As current pending adjusted. Something like that. Whatever. I just want to get this thing created. Dang it. And then projects. Do I put in the ID number? Do I... So this is number 10. Number 10. Link to a project. Create a new project. My untitled project. Gosh, I have to name this too. You know how hard it is for me to come up with a name? Financial management tracking UI. Like, can they, yes, it is. I mean, can they refer to the same, like solution, or just, I need the whole thing. The whole thing. I want it to be a board, please. Sure, tracker. I like boards better than tables. Okay, so now I have created a project in which, take me back here, I want to associate, not branch, projects. I want to associate this issue, not projects, issues. So I want to associate this issue with that project, like so. And if we look here, we'll see it on there. And this is in active. Then we just learn how to use projects. So apparently we now have a Kanban board in our GitHub UI. Hiccups, excuse me. Is Kanban board redundant? Okay, so this was number 10. I like Kanban with board. Set up. No, we're not doing that yet. We're not ready for releases. I'm not going to do CI/CD yet, but we will. Right now, I want to work on the UI. So you would create branches. Wouldn't that make this more like... Yeah, that's tough for me because I don't like enhancement. But I mean, that's the label that it got. Elimination of the boards. This is a galaxy brain. Take that. I've heard in real life. I can agree with you. Yeah, lean practices, limiting work in progress, that's a major one. Like having no more than 5 items active at a time. Making sure to split up your work into sprints if you're doing agile. And I don't mean sprints, I mean iterations. I'll say it correctly. I keep forgetting. I apologize. But anyway, so your recommendation is still to put some kind of prefix slash name. And what would you put for the prefix? Because this is a feature, this is a enhancement, but it's also initial work. We're gonna have to schedule meetings too. We'll have a 15-minute scrum at the beginning of every stream, and that'll be this window, 15-minute stand up. What? I mean, I kind of do that at the top. I'm like, this is what we already did. This is what we're going to be working on today. The end. That's my stand up. But anyway, hello, Tiger. How are you doing, Tiger Pleb? Pleb the Tiger. Tigerly Plebby. I'd like to report a blocker, and the blocker is you people. All of you people. True. I am the number one whatever the word is. Contributor to that. I'll take that as a compliment, says Dukasoft. Anyway, I'm gonna create it like this. I've never created a branch like this before. I'm doing it. So here's my enhancement. We are going to now copy. I copied the link for this. We are now going to design and implement the account overview component, widget, whatever you want to call it, that's going to go over here in this space. Are you ready for that? Because I'm not. I have no idea what to do. I mean, I have something in mind, but it looks like crap. I need something good. I don't want crap. I want good. So I left this space over here for us to design. Could we do I'm gonna try a thing. Let's go with photorealism. Let's go with something low. LMS. What size? We want to do a ratio, a screen ratio of, I don't know, 16 by 9. Why not? What would 16 by 9 be in smaller? 9 over 16. And we want our, oh, 9 over 16. We want our width to be 1020, 10, 10, 1080 by 720. Is that right? No. 16 over 9. What if we wanted our maximum height to be 720? 1280. That's what I said. I know my dimensions. 1280 width, 720 height. I'm probably going to kill my video card since we're streaming and I've never tried this before. We're going to try, I don't know, make 5. We're going to do this thing called prompt engineering. I told you I'm addicted to this. This is the thing that I've been addicted to most lately. I've been trying to create backgrounds, scenery, landscapes. Maybe get the crypto ATs running in that area. Okay, we are going to try a prototype of a data entry application with data entry fields and data grid and what do you call it? Overview. Maybe we can just do financial data entry with data entry fields and account overview. And we'll add in web, landscape. I'm kind of afraid to put in something like dashboard, but maybe. Any thoughts? I have no idea if this is going to produce anything for us at all. Because again, I've only been using this thing for creating landscapes, a couple of characters. How long are you going to take? It's going to take 12 minutes. Okay, well, we'll let that run and we'll come back to it just to see if it comes up with anything viable. For now, let's go ahead and use our Figma page or Figma design and see what we can come up with. It shouldn't be too difficult. We should just have like, excuse me, are you currently locked? You are. We're on this page. Dislock. We're on rectangle, which means we can lock you and you and you and you so I don't accidentally move that stuff around. Okay, so on within this rectangle, we're going to have a text box, and we're going to simulate the account overview. So we need a title in this little section. We'll change the font and everything shortly. This goes inside of you. Oh, we need to turn you into a group or a frame. Frame selection. That's what we do, right? I can't remember. Are you guys groups or frame? Group selection. Okay, so I made these groups. So this group here is going to be the account overview group, with the account overview text being hello, 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 being on top, so we can actually see it. And click it, duplicate. I said double click. I got words. And what are we going to have in here? We will have, like, I can't even think of any good way to do this other than what I have in my Access database that I'm used to seeing. Or we have a name, we have a current balance, we have adjusted balance. And what that would look like, for example, is we would have an account name. Oh, I don't know why I'm doing that. I want to duplicate so that I can just shift drag down. We would have an account named my savings. We would have a current balance of, I'm going to go ahead and put US dollar symbol, even though I haven't been using actual currency symbols yet. Let's do 10,000 even, with a pending transaction of minus 240. I don't know. Do I do it like that? So that gives us an adjusted balance. I can't do math. Why did I even try this? I can't do math. 760. And so this is the idea. And normally you have like the actual monetary value right aligned. Excuse me. Checking. My goodness. You're just making me feel bad for being so slow, the Zeman. But thank you. You probably meant it in a positive way, so I will take it in a positive way. I really appreciate that. We've made it to 2.5 months for the project. Don't give me that face. Okay, so this is pretty much what I am thinking we're going to have for the account overview box. Let's keep this rectangle in place while I select. Why is it so hard to select these? Select all of these, scooch them over to make them a little bit more centered. How do I center you? Where aren't you centering? That looks good. Close enough. We'll make the account overview text bigger, somewhere around 36. 32. Embolden. Too much. What size are you? Grid, not grid. Where's the actual data entry part? App content. Sold on it. Okay, so you are 24. Thank you, Dukasoft. Dukasoft put up the link for the project that we are currently working on. You can see it on the GitHubs. We are working on it live. We're going to be pushing this current branch. I'm going to try a little bit more organized of a strategy to have project board like so with issues, and we'll try to do it the right way. Oh, and just to kind of simulate that this is a transfer from savings to checking, we'll do this. Ew, that's gonna bother me, but whatever. We'll get back to it. Okay, so then these headers, what are they called? Headers. I'm going to group them. And I grouped the wrong things. Oh. Oh my goodness, just let me click on one. I'll get used to this someday. Savings was first. Name goes in there. Current balance goes in there. Adjusted balance goes in there. Okay, those are my headers. Embolden. We'll get your color changed soon. This is the section header. You get to stay in place. And then the rest of these. Maybe what we want is for you and you to be links. Some money balance wish list? What do you mean by that? I'm interested. Where are my link colors? Oh, is this really my link color? Show me all colors. Can you do that? No, not without it being selected. There we are. One thing that I haven't learned how to do is to create an actual color palette, a named color palette, which I want to do eventually. You. Okay, so we have links so that we can go directly to the transaction history for whatever account you're clicking on. That's the idea. Okay, so let's give this rectangle a color. We'll give it the same color as the background. The rectangle. And we'll change the opacity. I want to darken it and change the opacity. That's not going to happen, is it? Text color. For everything else, all of the header items, the account overview, the monetary values, pasta. How do I want? I kind of want it to be a card. So we might just steal the styling from these cards. This is really hard to do, by the way. You, may I see your card, please? Info cards. A watch card. Is there a way to copy your styles? Copy properties. And I put that on this rectangle. Yes, I can. I did. Except that that was on the group itself. Ops. Z. And let's paste it on the group. I mean, close. It's not quite doing what I want it to do. But it's better than nothing. All right, what are your radiuses? This is mixed. Thank you, I mean. You're saying mixed, but I want to see the actual numbers. Why is it mixed? 16. Okay, so there's a rectangle that gets 16. Interesting that it's... Oh, there's a border. There's a barter. A barter. Who gets the border? Do you get the border? You do not get the border. Do you get the border? Yes. It's called stroke at 37% inside. Copy. Properties. Pasta. Properties. There we... No. Wait. What happened to your... Oh. Try again. So blind. You. These properties. Okay. That's better. So I count over something like that. Star plus plus. Thank you. Really appreciate that, I think. It's not like this is anything super duper super. Maybe duper, but not super duper duper. All right, scoot you over. Give us some space. I don't know. That's close enough for me. I really, 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 really want to focus on actually designing this, though. I don't want to just brush it off. Did you finish? Ooh, 29 seconds left. 29 seconds left. What? We asked a stable diffusion installation that I have from Automatic 1111. I cloned the repo and added in some models, and we're using one called Photorealistic Fwen V1 to generate some prototype images for a financial management tracking application, essentially. And we didn't really get anything that's going to be helpful. So I have a stance on using AI to generate images, and it's probably my prompt, but I'm okay with using the AI to give you conceptual inspiration for images. And then I think that a more trained eye should use those concepts to create. It helps spur. Yeah. I love the imaginations of an AI, essentially. But yeah, I'm not really seeing anything that's going to help us with laying out this UI. So that said, here is the prompt that I gave it. And I am absolutely open to changing the prompt, adding words to it. Like, is there an actual name for something like this that's more official that the AI might understand better than prototype? Like maybe just UI design. Yeah, it's so cool. And again, I'm gonna keep saying it, but I'm addicted to it. I want to have it generate one of the landscape images just to show you how cool it is. Screen or pages, those are good words. How would I put that? So UI design of a financial data entry application screen. Pages. Yeah, I want to. Maybe I can find some that it already generated. Give me a minute. Some of the characters that it created are really creepy. Not quite anatomically correct, but also it doesn't have an NSFW filter. So I want to make sure that the images that I end up showing are safe to show on my stream because I don't have a. Yeah, I'll show you the startings of the inspiration for me. Is there a tutorial? The easiest way to get started with this one is to go to clone github.com automatic 1111 stable diffusion. So if you clone this onto your machine and then you run webuiuser.bat, then it will set everything up for you. There's another one called InvokeAI. That's a similar setup. You download one of the releases. Instead of cloning the project, you download a release. It has a bat file that you run, and then you say where you want it to install it, etc. It uses Python and a local virtual environment. It sets up a virtual environment that it runs on. I don't know how to customize the ports or anything, but I'm sure you could. And then if you want to get some more models, so you're given one set of models. One model called model.ckpt, which is a checkpoint file. And you use this to feed keywords to it, and then it outputs your text to an image, or if you have another image that you're starting from, and you're describing the image or asking it to describe the image for you and then output variations on that, then that's what this one is for. But other than that, YouTube videos, maybe some just Google Stable Diffusion prompt engineering or prompt construction. But I'm really terrible at describing things. So, yeah. But I mean, I still try. I still try. And oh yeah, I was gonna say, to get more of those models, you go over to huggingface.co. You create an account, free, of course, and you search for models. And you find some diffusion models like Stable Diffusion v2, and they will either give you the actual checkpoint file, CKPT, somewhere in here, CKPT. Yeah, which you can download here, or you can clone this thing. So you go to this using diffusers link, and you need to first have git command line installed, and then use git lfs install, because these are massive files. They're gigabytes of files, and if you know git, you know that it's not the best with large files. But there's this large file system. I don't know what lfs stands for, but anyway, git lfs, and then you clone it, and then you use another utility tool to turn the actual project itself that has a, oh yeah, and there's the CKPT, that has a set of PyTorch model training data stuff and turns it into these CKPT files. There's also these safe tensor ones that I've heard about, but I have no idea how to use. But once you get the CKPT file, you'll take it over to the directory that you have Stable Diffusion installed in, go into Models, Stable Diffusion, and paste them here. And then they'll show up in the app in this drop down up here. There are also other ways for you to be able to target multiple models within your search. So like if you type in the actual name, anything-v3, for example, then it might try to do some mixing of the two models. So the one that you have selected, or this one might actually just go directly to that one only. But there's this checkpoint merger where you can select more than one of the models and give them weights and then combine them into one model and then use that model. So pick the ones that you like the most. You also have a way to feed it a whole bunch of images of your own, train it. That will take many hours unless you have super high powered graphics card, maybe a dual graphics card thing. But most people do their training using Google Cloud Service for training models that I can't think of. Yeah, usually you send your training jobs up to the cloud and have your models trained in the cloud, and then you download them. I'm still trying to figure this out because I want to start refining it to be the style that I'm looking for. So anyway, those landscape images. These are some of the ones that I came up with, which are just phenomenal. They're very fantasy. I wanted fantasy style, castle town. I told it street lights or dark with, yeah, dimly lit streets, shadowy figures. Oh, I like this one a lot. Yeah, I really like some of these. They're so, it looks way better than laptops. Yeah, and the land, I don't know if it's just the model that I chose, I need to choose a different model maybe to do these digital drawings of like web UI. Maybe there is something that is trained on taking snapshots of a whole bunch of websites and seeing how they're laid out. Um, yeah. And again, this is an AI that's generating these. And you can tell when you get up close to some of these things that it's like you're not quite putting what would normally be there. That's not how this works. Um, how am I getting repeats? Where are we getting repeats? I don't want repeats. Wait, this isn't a repeat. This one is a different version of this. Wait, we did see that one already. Okay, anyway. These are just really good though. Yeah. Well, that's the thing though. It can. Once you get your base image of something that you like, that's when you start doing some extra stuff. So you'll take one of those images and be like, I really, really, really like this one. So you put it in here and you're like, okay, rescale. Oh, actually, that one's in extras. Rescale this thing to 8K definition, and it'll keep the same level of detail. Oh, yeah, yeah, that was exactly what I just said, where there will be a. Amin is asking about where to put the models.ckpt. From the base directory that you cloned, in the Stable Diffusions folder, Stable Diffusion Web, go into Models, Stable Diffusion. If that folder doesn't exist, then create it. And there is so much to understand about how Stable Diffusion works. But real quick, yeah, upscale this to much larger resolution without losing any of the details, and then use that image, an image to image, to describe it, and then create variations off of it that are more photorealistic even. Or if you want to go more towards the fantasy side, if you want to go more towards the different art style, like I want to change this thing from whatever art style this is to an oil painting or to a pointille painting. You have to download it. They give you a link for where to download in the dependencies, and you'll look for the CKPT. And that's where you'll find out that huggingface.co is where you're going to start getting all of these models. I didn't understand this thing, but I'm not worried about upscaling it yet. I'm trying to find the right model to use to generate the characters, the scenes, the whatever that I want. So many cool things that are just exploding nowadays. You got a chat bot that you can talk to and ask questions and it'll write code for you. You got something that you put in a text description of a picture. I mean, this is the text description thing, has been around for a while. It's just now we have more availability of it, I guess. There's this in painting thing that I really want to get into, um, where you give it like, I don't know, some image that's like, man, this has some really cool stuff, but I want it to be bigger. I want more stuff. And so I think that's what InPaint is for. Either I want to create some something up here, or I want to extend the image, and I haven't seen a way to do that with yeah, I need to figure out how to use this, but I want to expand the image left and right to make it a wider landscape kind of picture, and it'll fill in details and work, small blocks at a time is the advice that I was given. Or I watch a lot of videos on this, but work small blocks at a time for getting more parts of the scene added. And it's just so cool. It's like, can you redo this part? I mean, it's really cool, but what else can you do with this part? And I don't know if that's really what this does. Yeah. I'd have to read more on that or watch videos, I guess, while I work. Yeah. If I can get you excited about this and you can start creating things, uh, I'm happy about that. Because again, regardless of whether it's AI that's using training from other images to generate its own, which might not be a popular view, um, it could be considered forgery or using copywritten material that's like you aren't supposed to be creating derivatives of this work. So I understand those arguments, but I also like having, even if it is an image that you aren't supposed to be creating derivatives off of, you can still do an image study on it. Mickey Mouse strongly disapproves of your opinion. Exactly. Um, but the style that is used to create a character like Mickey Mouse, for example, is not really something that can be copywritten. The character itself, yes, but I want this in the style of something else. Anything. Anyway, I'm going to wait for this thing to finish since there's only a few seconds left. See what it gives us. I don't know what's open. Oh. It's like, why is that taking up the entire screen? And we'll see if those added words might help, like screen. Screen is probably a really good one. But then again, it might just give us a monitor. So I probably should have used page. The other thing that I might try is take my Figma and put it in image to image and then use this description on it. But yeah, the reason that I'm finally getting into this, by the way, when I said before my hard drives are getting are crying, I finally broke down and got a 4 terabyte M2. And so now I feel like I can put whatever I want on there to include all of these different 5 gig plus models. But anyway, what do we got? Still nothing that's quite what I'm looking for. Like, these are good dashboards, I guess, but they're not quite the design of the pages. Yeah, there's just so much more that I would need to add to this and find just some model that was trained on web UI. Let's just do photorealism. See what happens. Yeah, that's what I was saying. So for every single one of these models that I have, they're each at minimum 4 gigs. The largest one that I've seen in here was 15. But anyway, hopefully that'll help me, non-designer, come up with a better design for this UI. But for now, let's run with this. We're going to have a card that we can put wherever we want that will list off all of the accounts, their current balances, any pending transactions, and then their total balance after those transactions are applied. And this personally is the number that I base all of my futures off of. So if I have pending transactions, then I really only have this amount of liquid money to use or whatever it's called. So we're going to put this in the application right now. We just designed it. Let's implement it. Can we do it? So because that component might be able to be used elsewhere, I'm going to go ahead and turn it into a separate component called account summary. Come on, come on, come up net. Come up net. No. Wait, do I really have a folder called account summary component? No, I didn't. Cool. And we will create a new Razor file, which is a Razor component, not to be confused, Blazor component, not to be confused with a Razor page. Account summary. And this is the approach that I usually take for my, organizing my components. I will have a folder that is suffixed with the word component on it, or components if there are more than one. And this one will probably have more than one component now that I think of it, because we're going to have the overall account summary component itself. And then within that, we're going to have our account summary grid with account summary rows. And again, you probably should be in the practice of, at least I've heard that it's a good idea to separate all of your components into one unit of data. It's almost like doing one unit of work per method. So what we're looking at here is we have an account summary table or grid or whatever we want to call it, probably grid. Nobody's in the habit of calling tables tables anymore. They're called grids. And then within that, you're going to have an account summary row. And notice I just did this like 2 different ways. The first component that I added, I used the add new item dialog. And that's because I was used to the add new item extension giving me the wrong template for .razor files, but now it looks like it's doing just fine. So I'm good with that. Okay, so our account summary page is going to have the title. And I don't know if this is a good idea, but I like having my overarching component wrapped in a div wrapper. And I usually give it, like I've been starting to give everything an ID now. An ID of whatever it is. However, if it's a component that's intended to be used in more than one place, then the ID would need to have a unique something to identify it. Such as in a GUID. So we'd probably put a dash GUID. Oop. But this one isn't intended to be used in more than one place at the same time, on the same page. I was just showing that. I was just showing it. And then this has a class of account summary wrapper. And inside of my account summary wrapper, I have a header. Now, what do you guys think? So using semantic HTML tags to include the header tags is a good idea because screen readers are looking for these semantic tags to give it more data, more information about what the content is. But when you do that, do you change the style for all of your headers, H1, H2, H3, H4? Which are usually as deep as you go, but you can go up to H6, I think. I can't remember. Do you actually style those in your global styles in your main UI? Because what I would do is for each of my header styles, I do a font size and I change that to a CSS variable so that if I theme differently with different fonts, different languages, then I can adjust the font size to maybe appear better, but only for colors. Interesting. Or underlines. That's really interesting to hear. I mean, that's the kind of thing I wanted to know. And I would, yeah. Since I'm doing this in root, then I use whatever these are called, comments to break everything up. But I do normally have partials for all of my Sass variables at least. But for this project, I put everything inside of here. I don't even have color variables. We started showing what I would normally do for color variables, but I'm just putting them directly in line here. I don't know what to call that one. These are buttons. Dukesoft says, I'm still using Bootstrap. I really should. Like, I keep thinking that I want full control over all of my styles from scratch, and it's hard to customize Bootstrap. But Bootstrap and Material and Fluent and whatever other CSS framework you can come up with, they're tested and proven. And I really should just go with them as a base. I don't know. I don't know why I'm struggling against that. This is part of. Those are MISC. Those are miscellaneous. And this is just main app. Oh, Tukasov, thank you for reinforcing my decision at least. Tukasov said I end up fighting Bootstrap in every project. Yeah, I just really like having control over all of it. It's just I'm not a designer. So coming up with colors, themes, etc. myself, I'm struggling, but I want to get better at it. So one. Okay, what are the defaults for all of these? If I had a page with, does this count as about blank? Okay, if I had a page with no styles loaded, what are my defaults for each of these? H1, two, three. And you guys are probably like, why are you doing it this way? This is just the way that I felt like doing it. Or $sign. No, I did not mean to project onto you. Gosh, sorry. Sorry. Two M's is a H1. Too many. Two. 0.83, 1.5 ems is H2. 1.17 and 1. 1 ems for a H4. Is it really ems? I would not have thought that headers are relative to their parent font size. Very interesting. They are all bold, so I don't want to change any of those. I don't care about the margins. The thing that I would have wanted to carry over if it was a thing would be the line heights. But it looks like the line heights are just being inherited, or whatever default is going to be for that font size. So that's the only thing I care about changing, font sizes for my headers. However, like Amin said, header colors and text decorations, those are probably things that I would want to control based off of the theme. But at the moment, we're not doing that. But it definitely is something to keep in mind. Okay. So let's do 2, 3. Did that one actually put it in the right place? 4. Okay, so we have all of our font headers in a way that if we wanted to for a given theme, we could overwrite them. 3 M's, for example, for light theme, because for whatever reason, when you're in light theme, you want your font size to be massive as well. Wait, didn't I plug you in? Oops, I didn't. Okay, so let's move on. We have our font header sizes. Oh, so we are constructing this account summary page to have a H3 header, account summary, followed by the account summary grid component, because what if we don't want this thing to be inside of this account summary header or account summary wrapper, separate thing? We still have the option of taking the grid itself and putting it somewhere. So let's go to the grid. And so the grid for me is just going to be a table for now. And this is going to be an ID, account summary. Okay. Grid is what I said. I don't have any classes to put on it for now. But you win. And then we're going to have a header always, regardless of whether there's data or not for our accounts. We're going to have a header that is a TR with 3 THs at least. The first one is going to be, do we have our localizer everywhere? I forget. And I even forgot how we are doing the localizer. Kind of looks like we're injecting the localizer of the specific page's type. Now, after struggling with all of the stuff for my work application to do with localization, I kind of want one central localization resources file. So instead of having one for each page like this, I really want 1. And I've also learned a bunch of other things about the localization files. So for one, you could, if you wanted to, make your names the same value as your values so that when you do the actual extra files, for example, app dot, I don't know, enuk, then you don't have to remember, all right, this is the key right here, which is nothing at address. And then the text is this that needs to be translated. Instead, your key would be the default translation of that specific thing. Oop. And our next stable diffusion thing came in. And with this model, we get some interesting results. Oh, okay. This almost gives me some kind of inspiration. I like this header that is in a different color. And then it has the white text on top separating it. So what would that look like for our design? That would be like this header here has a different background color than the rest of the content for that card. Maybe. Yeah, see this over here? So there's some stuff happening over here with the transaction history and then the account balances, or this is the transaction history and these are the account balances. Yeah, maybe all card titles should be like that. This looks more like what I was looking for. Maybe we could use this as our starting point. Like, look at these colors too. These are pretty nice colors. Yeah, I think I might do that. I'm gonna take this one, the one that we were just looking at, and put it into image to image. We're gonna see what this thing says this is an image of. So this is really cool where you feed it an image and you say, give me what this is an image of. And then we're going to try to create variations that are more real and also be able to refine our own description of it based off of what we get back. But thanks for the alert, Dicksoft. Hope your little ones sleep really, really comfortably and really safe and sound tonight. Luck be a lady tonight. Anyway, I'm not going to sit here and watch it. It is kind of addicting to sit and watch the pot boil. Wait for the water to boil. Ooh, it is having trouble with the video. Oh my goodness. Who knew that interrogating an image takes more graphics processing power than running the text to image processing? I'm going to have to wait until after the stream for that one. Yeah, Midjourney. Hi, prog testing. So I did Midjourney for a little bit. It came up with this awesome character for me. Sorry for the glitchy camera for a minute while it's trying to read my text prompt. Let me see if I can find the one that Midjourney created for me. Oh, I put them in Angie Spill. Okay, I'll show this one. Is this the one that has the derpy one cell? Yeah. So I don't know if you guys remember me talking about Angie, but this is definitely inspiration for him. This is awesome. And so an AI came up with these based on, right. It came up with these based on an image that I created, which it's not actual nudity. He doesn't have parts, but he also is not clothed. So if you don't like that kind of thing, don't look at this, but it's not nudity. Um, it wasn't that image. It wasn't that image either. Anyway, it was based off of a sketch that I actually did with my hand, which is kind of weird because I'm terrible at sketching. That kind of looks like this. And so I pointed Mid-Journey to it and I described the image that I wanted and it created this and I'm like blown away. I need to change my wallpaper now. But yeah, Midjourney is really, really, really cool. Whatever model they use for Midjourney is top notch. They don't make that model available, to my knowledge. And the only way that you can use Midjourney is by going to their site, joining their Discord, and then you get 20 minutes, 200 minutes, something. Either 200 minutes or 20 minutes of processing. I think it was 20 of processing for free. And then you pay anywhere between, I want to say $30 to $42, depending on the features that you want per month, billed annually. So you've gotten good at querying for results. That would be amazing, prog testing. There is talk now of a new type of job coming up, being a prompt engineer. Someone that can write really good prompts and get back really good ideas and concepts. Man, I really need this thing to stop. It's eating up my video card. Are you close to done? Are you anywhere close to done? No. All right, I'm just gonna quit it. I quit you. All right, are we back? Do I have my video card back? Just gonna close that for now. But yeah, so you're in companies, you're probably gonna have a position where someone is sending these prompts to an AI to generate the images, the logo, the concept art, whatever it happens to be, so that, yeah, you can just have more creative output, more different things. Although, again, if you're using the same model as someone else with a similar type of prompt and it just happens to get the same type of seed, and you can end up with a lot of similar looking things. So AI is not the answer to all of it. It's again, it's that inspiration that will spur real graphic artists to create, to help them get unstuck. Oh man, were those the input images? The first ones that you have on there? Love that. Is it something that I can share on stream? It's all from a prompt. Cool. So this one is something that was output by that Discord version of this stable diffusion thing that I'm playing with. Yeah, and the other thing that I find myself doing is just scrolling through the Discord, their newbie server. Yeah, if you're interested in that, it's like midjourney.org. No, it's .com. Just midjourney.com. Yeah, some really, really, really cool stuff that it generates. You can see all of the images that I already used up my free tier. And so all of the Mid-Journey images that I created were on their free tier, which means it's open. Everyone can see it. Everyone can find it. But yeah, these are so cool. They're just so cool. But midjourney.com, if you're interested in that, you type in a prompt, give it some parameters. I would recommend reading their help so that you can understand how to use their arguments. So like dash dash V for the difference between your variations, how different the pictures are. You'll get 4 images back, and then you can upscale any of the 4 images, any or all of the 4 images, and you can create 4 more variations off of any of the images that you get back. And then there is a Mystique one that is Mystique with henna tattoos. That's cool. We've been doing a bit of henna yoga lately. I love those so much more. They're so much more flowy. But yeah, I wouldn't want to show that one because Marvel. Yeah, these are phenomenal. These crystal things. So good. So good to look at. So cool. Yes. Agreed. Agreed, prog testing. So again, it might not be the most popular view. It could be that AI is going to destroy jobs for digital artists and developers, software developers. But I also think that we are going to be able to create new things for us to do. I honestly don't think our jobs are going away. I do think it's going to get misused because humans, but at the same time, we're still going to benefit from having, like, it's something that we would not have had otherwise. I don't know what else to say. You just got a lot easier. Yeah. Again, there's going to be people to misuse anything that comes out. So I'm not looking forward to that, but I am looking forward to what new creative things we'll come up with using the new tools that we have. Like, would you be okay programming in ones and zeros? Because we've abstracted that so far that programming looks like you're writing English. So we just took it one more step further. Now you actually are writing English and getting back software. That's my view on that. Again, just my view. Doesn't mean that you have to agree with it. And also, I haven't said this for a while, but these are my views and opinions, not the company that I work for, not anyone else's. And you can definitely disagree with me, and I will not fault you. I will find credence in your arguments if you have an opposing view. Like, if I couldn't write software, if I couldn't get a job as a software developer, I don't know what I would be doing. Oh, I missed this. This thing needs to show up. Oh, whoops. I said it wrong. Hatha yoga. My bad. What's Hansa then? Hansa, is that what you said she was? What her name is? Name Henna. I don't know what Henna is then. Unless you told me about it before, then I've forgotten. Anyway, I need to start putting stuff on here. So I was making an argument. It's just a type of tattoo. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the other thing. You can put artists, you can put styles, you can put photo grain on it, you can put type of lens, you can put focal length, anything that you can think of to describe the image that you want it to produce. You can put as much detail as you want, and it'll try. It'll try its little heart out to create whatever it is. I do henna yoga. You know, the one where while you're doing yoga, you're putting a tattoo on your arm. What? I was trying to decide whether I wanted to combine all of my um translations into, or all of my localization files into one, and I really think I want to. Because I don't see myself using this. I don't know. I really don't know why I started doing it this way. I think it was because you will automatically get. That's what it was. That's what it was. Program.cs. Where are you? When you add localization, it will automatically get back the path to your localization based off of the file that you are in. Is it based off of the file that we're in and not based off of the type that we're asking for? I will find out. Let's move all of our index localization stuff into app. Let it rebuild, and then we'll tell index to give me an iString localizer of app. That should also rebuild. Okay, did we lose our text from the homepage? Did we have any text on the homepage? Yes, all of this stuff down here is manually input. Son of a getting started button, for example. Get started is translated. It's not saying, it doesn't just say get started button text. It says get started. Good. I'm struggling a bit today with understanding what is DOC? The DOC is for a payment vendor. Oh, the actual docs. He put it in all caps, so I thought it was an acronym for something I didn't know. Yeah. What? Excuse me, I could have sworn that I copied this. That's not going to work. Okay. App, app, app. Pause it. Transfer. So the other thing that I'm starting to think about is going ahead and using the value as the entry, as the name. Learning APIs in depth, about time to level up. Awesome. But yeah, you're using a specific payment vendor though, and you aren't quite understanding their API for how you're supposed to interact with their product. VIPs. Yeah, I haven't needed to use them, so I wouldn't be familiar with any of them. I guess I'd be familiar with the most popular one that I can't think of off the top of my head, but yeah, that's about it. Just new to the whole flow. I would have been into that. That was going to be. I was getting interviewed for another job that works on the software for all of the point of sales machines. All of the point of sales machines, every single one. No, no. It was at the same time Sajetti was interviewing me. Okay. Um if anyone feels like it and they think this is a bad idea, tell me now. Otherwise, I will suffer in the future and have to undo all of this later. Oh, I guess I didn't need comments. Okay, so once again, I am going to use the string that I want as both, oh, come on, as both the name and the value. Right. I remember what the argument was against this that I really liked. The reason I wouldn't want to do this is, let's say that I wanted to change the text that appears everywhere that I've used that key. I wouldn't want to have to change like the default language version of that string and then the translated version, the name entry in every single dictionary. There's an issue with it. Which is not able to use GPU. What kind of graphics card do you have? But no, I don't. I don't have that issue. AMD. Yeah, so this works really well with NVIDIA cards. I think that there's something special that you have to do with an AMD. Yeah, I'm sorry I can't help you with that one. Oh, it's fixed. You just wanted to let me know. Cool. If I ever have any machines that have an AMD or other non-NVIDIA card, I will keep that in mind. I'm already lost. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Get rid of the spaces for now. Okay, so there are two things that I am deciding to do that if you have any reasons that I shouldn't do it, I am open to hearing it. Number one is putting all of my resource strings in one file so that when I do my translations, I only need to create the different language locales for one file, and it has all of my strings in it. The second thing is I'm putting some kind of descriptive name, which is going to be a key entry in a dictionary for each of my translated strings so that I can update my default string as well as the translations for each of them when I do it. Who would buy the Intel Arc thing? I have no idea. I don't know about it. That was supposed to be a question mark. Anyone that wants to link to graphics cards? Or is it a specific graphics card? I don't know. I don't know who would, but Intel does make some pretty good chipsets and chips in general. So I don't know enough about it, why it's different, how it's different, what appeals about it. Back to the app, in which I will go back to index, get rid of all of these extra spaces. Okay. Okay, so that's going to be my decision for now. Again, let me know if you have any good reasons that I shouldn't put it all in the same resources file. That said, I need app.resources open so that I can start creating strings and entries as I am adding them to my components. So which means that the other thing that I want is to make that localizer available everywhere. So I'm going to put that here. iString localizer app, which is going to be my app localizer, which is crazy because I was doing that with shared localizer. Now what's the difference between shared localizer and app localizer? Well, well, localization, shared localizer. What exactly are you? So what I don't understand is where's your resources file? It's in that project. To do. Wait, what? So Proc Testing is saying, I find myself drifting slowly into architecture since I have to do everything myself. Right. Yes. Are you actually enjoying architecture more, though? Is that what you're finding? I love it, he says. Wow. And it's what you're meant to do in software. That's really cool. Oh my goodness. I'm glad to hear it. Um, I am on the opposite side where I absolutely dislike architecture, especially systems architecture. I mean, it's like, who said architecture? It was protesting. He has found his calling. Did I trigger you? You did. Uh-oh. Sure, make it read only. All right. I'm wondering if this is still a bad idea. So let's get rid of this. Let's go back to index.razor, get rid of this. And app.razor. And we are at the 3-minute mark before the end of the stream, and we've had great conversation. So I appreciate that a lot, but I really haven't done much, have I? Where is localizer? Hello. Oh, I should have copied at symbol. Dang it. That doesn't need to be localized. That needs to be replaced. And soon, S star star N. And I really need a better place for whispers. But thank you. I was trying to go back to index. Change all of these to shared. Okay, so if you didn't see what I did, I'm using a dependency injected iString localizer that I put in underscore imports, which means it is available everywhere throughout my app. It seems like a bad idea because if you saw my shared localizer service is using a string localizer factory, and that leads me to believe that it would be more efficient for me to request an iString localizer on each page as opposed to request it once and keep that one string localizer in memory. But I don't know that for sure. Yeah, the thing eats my CPU. It shouldn't be eating your CPU as much as your GPU. Like it says that it needs a minimum of 4 gigs of video RAM, but probably needs something more like 6 to 8. Mm. So I guess some settings to keep in mind for stable diffusion. If you're going to use that automatic 1111, let's see if he has a screenshot. When you're doing text to image, I would recommend when you're getting your initial sets of pictures, keeping the sampling steps between 20 and 40 like my favorite thing to do is get a whole bunch of variations of the same image. So give it the same seed and get a whole bunch of variations, which you would normally do by changing batch size. But instead, what I would recommend is changing your batch count so that it only allocates enough for one image at a time, and then just do that for each batch. You choose something like 4 or however many images, individual images you want. When you find one that you want a variation of, that's what that seed is for. So you use the exact same model, sampling method, and seed. And the CFG scale is something else. That's just how closely will it follow your text prompt. And I think the lower the number, the more freedom you give it, the higher number, the more closely to the text prompt it is. That could be backwards. I could have just said that backwards, but yeah. Use this thing, this seed here. Seed will be essentially what random number did it generate, or how many random number generation steps did it use before it came up with that random number for the image that it's creating. I don't know all of the details about what exactly that means, but if you use the same seed, you'll essentially get variations of the same picture. And that's when you say, all right, I like this picture after having this be -1. So have every single image that's generated be a different randomly generated number as its base. And then you find the one picture that you like a lot, copy that seed over and say, all right, give me more pictures like that one. The other thing that you might look at is going into settings, telling it where you want all of your images to be output, because it saves every single one of the images that it creates by default to a folder that says output, and then text to text, text to image, text to text grid, or image to image. Sorry, text to image, image to image, text to image grid, image to image grid. And it puts it in an output folder. But the other thing that you can have it do is also output this information here so you can re-prompt it the same way. It tells you what model you chose, what hash, and it actually doesn't give you the model name. It hasn't been giving me the model name. It gives me the model hash only, but you'll see the model hash in the dropdown, so it's not that bad. Anyway, that's all that I have to say about that. We'll continue adding this thing after I'm done mucking about with the localizer in the next stream. So I'll be back again on Wednesday, same time, 10:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, UTC -7 currently, and we'll continue on with adding some more UI elements, cleaning up the UI, maybe coming up with some more themes or better coloring. Better coloring is probably where I want to start after adding this account overview section. But getting some better colors on here, and yeah. I was all pointing to it and you guys can't see it. But anyway, you guys know the page. The account overview is what we're adding. The little thing in the top right corner. Anyway, so until the next time. Thank you, I mean, very appropriate. Until the next time, though, I hope you guys have an enjoyable rest of your day. I will be posting this video to YouTube sometime 24 hours or so after the stream ends. And project is, yeah, here's YouTube. I forgot that Dukasaw stepped away to tuck in his kids. That's where the YouTube is. Here is where you can follow along with the project. I haven't really made any changes, so I won't be checking in this branch yet, but we will be working on this branch that is for the issue that we added to GitHub for this project. And what else is there? Discord. Feel free to join us on Discord. We have a wonderful, friendly community there that's happy to help out, happy to answer questions, happy to discuss whatever topics you want to discuss, and happy to take your responses to our questions. So we all ask questions, we all answer questions. We're just really cool to each other, and I love it. And we get a lot of really cool cat pics from Balint. What is C sharp? C sharp is not C flat. It's not C. It's not C++. I can tell you what it's not. Can't tell you what it is. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. That's it for me for today. I'm not going to rate anyone. I apologize in advance. But I'm going to get back to work. Okay, ciao for now.